Welcome back to another episode of Hit or Glitch and our season of Edge of Creation. The players have managed to survive meeting some interesting characters and are back on their way.
Yeah.
I've given them XP for another session, and also I have decided to give them both of the expression bonuses for Solar XP this time. I think they all really well fulfilled their specific roles, as well as did a lot of interaction with their intimacies. So I'm gonna call that good as far as getting that XP. I think that they're deserving of it.
I kind of stretched it with mine a bit. I didn't do much sneaking.
Yeah, you did some underhanded things, like cheating at the poker game, but
Larcenous activities. Stealing people's hats.
they have to be in a way that furthers the plot or helps out what's going on.
Okay.
And I mean, stealing a hat got you in
Yeah,
to some extent.
to some extent.
All right.
Now I got really cool.
Are you guys headed straight back to Whitewall, or are you gonna stop
Uh,
off in the village first?
No, I need to get my wagon.
Stop in the village.
Or-
Let them
or
know that
Compound or whatever.
they shouldn't be bothered again, and if they are, to get word to us. And
Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention it. The Eclipse Cast has a great way of making sure that deals like the one you tried to make with them are binding. You
That's
have
what I was trying to remember what that was.
okay, so you have a cast ability. When an agreement is made, whether you're party or not, you can spend 10 motes and say, done. Anyone who breaks this deal will have dire, consequences. And it's not you enforcing them, it is
The
basically
universe.
creation. Universe enforces it.
I meant to do that and shake her hand.
Oh, is that why you were coming
Yeah.
up? All right.
what was the deal you
Unfortunate.
made with her?
That her
Yes.
people would stop
Oh,
raiding
Yep.
humanity.
okay.
Opportunity missed.
Okay.
All right. It is another 2 days back to Whitewall from the farming community you were at. The roads are fairly clear still, although you're seeing a lot less of the people migrating west like you had been before. The first day's fairly uneventful, other than you guys are probably trying to make good time.
Mm-hmm.
And your familiar, man, I forgot the name. It's Russian for owl.
Sova.
Sova. Sova returns as you guys are leaving the Shadowlands. Sova is about the size of a horse now, with a wingspan that is. Owls have a very large wingspan for their size. So the wingspan is something on the order of like 20 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are you giving me the dirty look for?
What have you created? And Sova before looked kind of.
How are you gonna hide that?
I'm not.
Before Sova
He's
looked
just
kind of
happy to see
ungainly.
It's not an L between his legs. He's just happy to see you.
The Sova looked kind of ungainly before.
Mhm.
Seems a lot. It seems right now. Like this seems like what Sova is supposed to look like.
He looks healthy. Gotcha.
Yes, healthy and like appropriately sized.
Awesome.
Healthy and mature.
Yes. Also, a lot more dangerous. I mean, obviously with the size, but still doesn't make hardly a sound when flying. Like, even with your charm activated for hearing, you barely hear anything.
I had owls fly right over me before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know.
I'm not sure exactly on their ratio for size to wingspan. I just know it's significant, and that's a good portion of the reason for their silent flight. So yeah, the wingspan is significant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He got big. Awesome.
Silva seems pleased with himself.
Yeah. I'm impressed. I gave him a good. I did. I don't know. Basically, I pet him. Basically, show that I'm proud of him and impressed.
Help preen his feathers.
Yeah.
It has been, because of the time period you guys are going through, you'll be able to recover your essence.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask that.
Yep. I noticed Dan looking at it and was like, yeah, it's recovered at this
Well,
point.
no, I was erasing the committed and correcting the numbers because
Yeah.
if we're fast forwarding days,
Yeah, it's over a day, so you should be able to recover. I think it was
we cover 5 an hour.
5 an hour, yeah. So in 24 hours, I don't think you guys have that much essence. Unless I really missed something.
Sofa's now big enough for me to ride him, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
You could actually ride Sova in flight, even.
Cool.
Whether, hanging from the claws or
On his back.
on his back.
Neck, back thing.
I mean, he doesn't have a saddle though, so you're gonna have to have a decent ride pool to be able to pull that off.
Well, that's what I
8
thought with
right
some of
now.
my experience. Now I got 3 dots in ride,
Okay.
and then I got a 5 dex. So
Yeah, that's enough.
yeah, we do it. We practice a bit on the way back.
Okay. While you are up practicing,
2 points of willpower back, or have we not had that?
1.
Okay.
You haven't gotten to the second night yet, and you didn't recover any while you were in the Shadowlands.
Yeah.
Even if you had gotten a full rest. As you are getting back into the outskirts of Whitewall, meaning the communities that are within distance of it, but
The suburbs.
yeah, I mean not even suburbs. This is like the outlying communities. One of the times when you're practicing, you see smoke coming from the direction of Whitewall, and this isn't just like wood smoke from somebody's
House.
Chimney or
Like
something like
something was set on fire.
yes.
Lots of something.
Make a wits plus survival roll.
Just him, or
Just him.
Okay.
Currently, I mean, he can bring it to the rest of your guys' attention, but currently he's the only one that can see it.
1.
1. Yeah, it's a volume of smoke that indicates something on the order of a house-sized fire.
Okay. I return to the rest of the group and let them know. Or, well, we do. So.
Yeah. Hey,
well, we
there's
were
some kind of
told
fire.
about an enemy within Whitewall.
Yeah. See, I told you it wasn't Silver that was the one causing it. Ooh, I've been holding that for a long while.
Yeah. Quicken the pace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Within a bit of time, the other two of you guys can see it, and go ahead and make me a perception plus survival roll.
Perception test?
Perception plus survival. I'm having them make the same roll.
Oh. You had me do wits, but whatever.
I know.
Oh man.
4.
6. Jeez.
You guys are able to see that the size of the fire is not quite a neighborhood, but what was probably several buildings or one very large building. However, the color has changed to white, and so it's
near our neighborhood.
that's a little bit harder to tell.
Okay.
but yeah, it's on that side of the city. But now you can tell for sure that the fire is out, as it has turned white.
Okay.
Because a currently burning fire is generally more of a black color. This one
Yeah.
is white, so it's out.
It's just kind of smoldering there.
Yep. So something's smoldering, but there's no current fire. As you approach town, that guy Sven is on the edge of town as you guys are coming in.
Oh.
Um,
Wave and slow down.
oh, he like raised his hand and like kind of hops over to you guys.
Slow down and put my hand for him to climb up in the wagon.
Yeah, he hops up. It's good to see you, Sifu. It's been well, quite exciting.
Obviously. That's not ours, is it?
Near, but no.
Okay.
There seems to be martial law going on in the city right now. To warn you before you got in too far. They're clearing the
Send you so fast.
they're
Don't come within the city.
clearing the streets at night, and it's getting on towards that time. We should get indoors pretty quick.
Okay.
So yeah, those murders were continuing. It seems they almost caught one of the beasts involved.
Oh.
There are more than one. Yeah. And that was a mess. Just the other night. Yesterday in the evening they caught one or well,
Is that fire a result of that attempt?
oh yeah. It seems to be a dragon of some sort, or a worm or verm or whatever you want to call it. Had burned down half a neighborhood to get away.
Yikes.
And they say it wasn't alone.
Did they talk about it having like a purplish glow in its eyes?
No, I don't think that's in any of the rumors I've heard. Do you know something about a worm with purplish eyes?
No, just checking.
No, this was
He's really good with shapes and colors.
I consulted about shapes, colors, and an L.
Yes. They say it was well, I mean, I don't know for sure, but they're saying it was almost the size of a house itself. Breathe fire, scales. Bigger than a horse, for sure. Fast as a horse, though. Yeah, and the soldiers are conducting a search of the neighborhood. They have already been through our building. Wasn't pleasant.
At least there was nothing to find. Have we had a visit from that village magistrate that I told you to keep an eye out for?
Oh, the fellow from the east.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, he did visit us, was asking after you, and when I told him that you had headed out to the east, I believe he was setting out as well.
How long ago was
We
that?
didn't run across them at all. I sent some refugees your way as well. Did they actually come by?
That was the unpleasant part when the soldiers arrived and were asking why there was so many people from outside the city, refugees, talking about undead, living in our house.
Did they take them?
For a time, some of them, yes. Asked them a lot of questions, asked us a lot of questions.
Doesn't the fact that they were refugees explain why they were staying at our house?
Yes, well, I mean, I think that's what they came to eventually, but I don't know, it was something out of order, and they weren't from the area, so they were immediately suspicious of them.
Gotcha.
There are a couple still under questioning right now.
Okay. I'll see to that in the morning.
Tim, are you wearing your mask, by the way?
I have it up, but
Okay.
yeah, I have it on.
Alright, that's fine.
I'll see you guys later. I'll go look into that dragon.
Don't get caught.
Okay. I'm going to go look at the damage and try to figure something out.
Okay.
I'm taking us directly to the house.
So I'm
And
gonna
I'm
have you
sneaking
make.
out after dark.
Are you gonna try to do a actual like no one sees me stealth, or are you gonna do like a social
What?
stealth?
I can't do that.
I'll start out with the social stealth.
Okay, so do a manipulation plus stealth.
3. 1, 2, 3, 5. And we're in the city, so
Yep.
2 more for my specialty. And so yeah, just blending into the crowd. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.
That's pretty good. You do not attract any attention as long as you remain within the range of people.
Mm-hmm.
However, the area is sort of off limits, and there are city guardsmen, really soldiers, white wall soldiers, looking through the area and questioning some people.
Okay. I'm going to try to listen in on stuff and try to get a better idea of what's going on, the extent of the damage, and what I can find out about the dragon from the social standpoint, and then I'm going to sneak in and try to investigate in there.
Okay, give me a perception plus awareness to try to listen in. And do you have any hearing charms?
No, I
That's
don't think so.
That's me.
No, I only have the sensory acuity piranha.
Well, you can
Awareness
activate
doubles
that.
9s. Sure, I'll do that from personal.
Okay.
So that doubles my 9s.
Yep. So your 9s count as 2, just like 10s do. So you catch a smattering of things. People are, they're being asked what they saw, what they know about the people who lived in the area. Do you know of any enemies?
Am I able to? Do I know how long ago this happened?
It was yesterday evening, after the sun went down, is what
Okay.
you're getting. So it was after dark, but like just after dark.
Okay.
Then you're also catching several references to fire-breathing lizard or fire-breathing worm, as they might be more apt to say. And the size of it is varying from the size of a horse to nearly the size of a house.
Hmm.
So it was fairly large. Maybe not, like a whole mountainside large, but it was big, whatever it was.
Okay. What time of the day is it?
Right now, it's getting on towards evening time, and the streets are starting to clear.
Okay. I'm going to stick around for a little bit, wait for it to get a bit darker, and then I'm going to sneak in to look at the damage and make my own investigation of the area.
Before the sun goes down, the street's clear,
Okay.
completely clear. So if you're going
And
to,
yeah, I'll hide.
okay. So go ahead and make a dexterity stealth, and if you'd like to, you can stunt it.
Siku was going to leave when it got dark.
Yes, I am.
And you go in the same place.
I'm just gonna go around the city, see if I can find. I'll probably head in that direction, but I'm more like just on watch to make sure.
Nothing happens tonight.
Yeah.
Or if something does, then you can get to it.
Pretty much.
Stunted. It's getting darker. People are clearing out, so I'm gonna make it look like I'm heading off through this alley to get to my home, and then I'm basically going to, when I get into the alley, make sure nobody's watching, and then jump up onto a roof, and kind of just lean back against the roof and keep myself low.
Okay.
So that unless they are above me, they can't really see me.
I'm going to be remaining indoors, and I'm going to be writing letters.
1 dot die.
Dear Pepperidge Farm, I
Yeah.
don't think you remember all this shit the internet is saying about you.
I'll remember. No, I've got.
I don't think you really remember all those things.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's pretty good. And then as soon as the sun goes down, you're going to try to make your way in.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way in, and
We'll pick up, after we're done with this, we'll pick up with you, Sifu.
Yep.
Or Sifu, sorry. Sifu.
seafood master.
Yeah, you get your way in. There are still soldiers around, and one of the guys that is there, you will recognize as Constantine.
Constantine, that's the.
He was the soldier that
Mhm.
met with him. So recognize the description, I guess, since you never met him in person.
Yeah.
I think they were there at the first meeting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah,
at the
you were
first
the
I
first
meeting.
know I was.
Yeah, you guys were there the first meeting. Never mind.
Yeah, they didn't go back with me when I went. When we
Yeah.
instilled the intimacies into each
Yeah.
other. They weren't there for that.
Okay. So he's kind of investigating.
Yeah, he seems to be in charge here.
Okay. I'm going to. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna investigate from the shadows. Try to get into figure out the start of the fire, where it began, and try to kind of get a feel for what caused it.
Okay.
Better idea. Dragon, really? I mean, I've seen some things,
Yeah.
but if it was the size of a house or a horse, somebody would have seen it by now.
The source of ignition seems to be a 40-foot long line. It's 5 feet wide.
Actually, it's a 30-foot cone.
The brass dragon's a line.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a intelligence plus investigation roll.
And I will be using Watchman's Infallible Eye.
I think Watchman's Infallible Eye is basically, I let you know when you need to be taking actions like that to figure something out.
Yeah.
And so you already know that there's something to figure out here
Yeah.
and are taking the correct actions.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah, it's
It's
just a
just-
permanent.
It's a permanent thing.
Yeah, so I let you know when there's something out of place, but you already know there's something out of place.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I will if there is something else that is should draw your attention, I'll let you know.
okay. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning down, investigating the burn marks, tracing them to their source, where
Yeah.
it starts, trying to figure out.
This place
Mm.
isn't burned to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. I was assuming so.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get trying to like form in my head, kind of like look like I'm looking based on facts, looking into the past to kind of figure out what had happened, and like see the movements of everything around. Trying to figure it out.
He's
Yeah,
pulling a
you can get your
blood banner name.
you can get your stunt for that.
The detective.
1 die or 2?
I'm actually
And-
gonna it's 2 dice always.
Luke
Well,
Cage.
I'm gonna call this a level 2
Oh, night.
Yeah,
stunt,
okay,
so
missed
you get a free success as well.
1 success.
1 success.
Got to be joking. 2.
Ha ha ha! By giving you
So,
extra.
3 total.
Wow. Okay. So this is a full like city block
Mm-hmm.
where that has caught on fire in parts of them.
It's just too
Um,
big.
One of the buildings is more burned than the others,
Okay.
so it seems to be where the fire started.
Okay.
You find the room that is most burned,
Mm-hmm.
and there's something off about it. Like
The fact that there's nothing living there anymore.
Okay.
There's no walls even.
no.
What?
Well, yes, obviously that's wrong. I mean, it's burned pretty badly, but there's something wrong about the way the walls are shaped or something like that. It seems off.
Hmm.
And you can't quite figure it out.
Like extrapolating the angles, they don't come together in the right way.
No, like off as in, not like, oh, this fire was. It's kind of weird how this fire formed. It's like, no, there's something wrong with this place potentially before the fire even started. There's something, and you can't put your finger on it, but you keep getting this feeling something's wrong here. So you'd have to spend more time investigating, or potentially
Yeah,
get
yeah,
somebody who's better at it.
Okay, yeah. I'm feeling that there was
Yeah,
something off
like your
about this.
watchman's infallible eye keeps telling you you're missing something here. You're missing something
Okay.
here. You're missing
Yeah,
something here.
I'm gonna continue investigating, but if something's off. There's probably like some kind of like I'm thinking like because of where I came from, like either booby traps, hidden passages, or hidden rooms, or
Okay.
a hidden something which would fit in like within my traps and awareness stuff. Probably.
Go ahead and try doing awareness plus. We'll actually go with stealth for this.
One quick question.
Stealth what?
Perception plus stealth.
While he's gathering his dice and rolling, can I see that's the scar from the house?
You might be able to see like a bit of a rooftop that's been burned. So
Okay.
you can see where like the smoke is coming up. It's not too far away, but it is a couple blocks.
Will I get a stunt for this?
Yeah.
No. Because I don't really know how to stunt something like this. Willpower. If I spend willpower on this, it will
It gives you a free success.
one free success.
Yeah.
Seems a little.
Well, consider that a success is basically 2 dice, at least.
Yeah, I'll spend one.
Okay.
One, two, three. So a total of 4.
All right. You look around for like hidden doors, hidden hidey holes, like evidence that there might have been a wall locker that's been removed or something like that. And you find a couple little things. You actually find under a like thing you're guessing used to be a dresser.
Mm-hmm.
You find a piece of like silver, so like a silver platter of some sort. It's kind of melted.
Yeah.
But hey, it's still made of solid silver.
Mm.
But otherwise, you're not really finding any traps or any other really hidey holes. You're just finding, evidence of what a normal person would try to hide.
The trap was already set off.
Sure. No, and that's not. You're not finding any evidence of anything that would cause an ignition. I mean, yeah, there's a fireplace in the building, but not where the fire was at, for the most part. So it didn't start there, unless somebody pulled a log out of it and ran upstairs, because this was an upstairs area that the fire started. There is evidence in the closet, however, that someone was staying inside of it. Like, not a permanent thing, but you see a stool in there. And not like a stool to get up to top shelves. There's not really anything high enough for it. But like a stool is the end, like
a bar stool?
Like a bar stool and another stool with like a cup on it. Like somebody was staying inside of this closet for a while.
How big is this closet?
Not that big. The cup, it was like a teacup with a saucer. and I mean it's like covered in soot and whatnot now, but
Did I find anything else in the closet?
some burned clothes, um, a burned like broom, and some other like household like kind of things you would normally find in a closet.
Hmm.
Maybe well, there's actually like an old military sword in there, but it's seen better days, and the handle is burned pretty bad.
Hmm. Well, does it have any markings on it that would identify like the family that used it, or is it just like
No, this is
normal
this is low
military?
grade.
Okay.
Boop.
Put
Start
my
looking.
mask down. I'm looking for something living around here
All right.
other than people.
Um, in the house, you don't see anybody. You do, however, start detecting through the walls the guards around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and give me a perception plus occult with the +2 from your mask.
I don't have a cult.
Okay.
So,
Perception plus
plus
2.
2.
okay. Three.
Nice.
You know what it is? You're not doing the whole Macarena ritual dance thing you do, waving them all around. That's why you're rolling bad this.
Yeah. I'll get it.
There are maybe a dozen guards around here, or soldiers. These are actual soldiers around here.
Mm-hmm.
They look a little off from the normal people you've seen. It might be the influence of being, you're not really sure. Might be the influence of being god-blooded or like having some ancestry that was.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they have a little bit of an extra vitality or something. But there's something different about them. And when you take a look at Constantine,
Mm-hmm.
there's something a little different about him too. It's sort of similar, but stronger. Doing.
Is my aura like
Oh,
his?
No. No, your aura is not like his. Because yours is like you when you like if you look at your hand
Mhm.
or like your arm or whatever, the glow you have is shrouded.
Mhm.
As if
His
by
would
night.
be, yeah.
Like you
Like
can
that.
see it's like looking at the sun through a thick curtain.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing you see when you look at yourself.
Okay. Guess this is all I'm gonna be able to really figure out.
That just increased the XP cost of that.
XP cost of what?
Well, let's think about taking ally.
Oh,
Oh.
Constantine is an ally.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that would have forced you to tip your hand because the value of ally is dependent on the power source of the person.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait.
That would before you could spend the XP for it though. You would
I'd
have to RP
identify.
that one.
Yeah.
I've fought a
Blooded.
blooded guy before,
But you did not have this mask
Yeah.
at the
but I
time.
did not have that mask at that
So
time.
you have no idea.
When I was in his presence before, did I get the feeling that he was somewhat similar when I met him?
This guy to a dragon blooded?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You don't have a cult.
I don't have a cult.
You sense that this guy is definitely more than just a human. Beyond that, yeah. Yeah, he's the
They
same.
both have a cult and they have a cult.
He's the same in the same way that like a tiger is the same thing as a bear is the same thing as a shark is the same.
Gotcha.
It's a predator. It's something more powerful than a normal person.
Okay.
So you might have gotten that kind of feel from him. That this is definitely somebody with a force of presence and a force of power, but yeah, what it is, you don't have the skills necessary for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't got much else. Guess I'll have to take my findings back to the group and see what we can figure out from there.
We will
So,
cut to Siku. So how are you going about traveling the city?
I am Yep. Pretty much jump in from place to place with my specialty and jumping and climbing. And just kind of like, in the cartoons when the real big guy is like tippy-toeing across the rooftop and you just see the shadow and then he ducks down. That's my stunt.
Okay.
And I think that is totally worthy of the stunt dice.
Yeah, that's your 2 stunt, and you get a free success off it.
Awesome.
So a level 2
Or you
stunt.
could do like the fingers and toes crawl.
Yep. Yeah. It's gonna Darkwing Duck the fuck out of this.
Darkwing Ducks get dangerous.
5, 6, 7,
That's 10.
8, 9, and then with the free one, that's 10 successes.
Okie dokie. Yeah, for your size and weight, you are surprisingly stealthy. It's basically kind of the thing of, like, you just bound up and, like, grab onto a wall, a brick wall of some sort, stone wall, like, trying to keep, and just bound off of that onto another one. So you're never touching the ground, really. And because you're passing so far overhead, no one even hears you.
Exactly.
And you're smart enough not to land on a thatch roof.
I've done that one before, trust me. It is a shock.
That's how you gain part of your cult. Okay. Give me. So you're looking around for any kind of trouble. Of
I'm
any
just
sort.
looking for like
Anything.
someone out that's not
He's
supposed to
Batman on patrol.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a perception plus investigation.
Totally think that.
be 4.
Not bad.
That's 10.
Those are both
One of those ones. I have to
and none
remember.
of these are.
Okay.
Give me 3 rolls for this as time passes. How long are you planning to stay out?
Until either everything gets safe or I find someone.
Okay.
So
All night if I have to.
Yep.
1 on that one, so it brings me to 5. 6 total. So that's 1.
One
so
on the last one
yeah.
as well. I'm having these are separate. They're
Oh, okay.
different time.
So
Well, I
4,
guess
1, and 1.
they would add up. Yeah, usually you do it in the system, adding them up. So in that first time period, which is like the beginning of the night, you quickly see that just about everybody's going indoors except for the soldiers and
Well,
guards.
I went out after everybody
I
went
know.
indoors.
There's still a couple people
Oh, yeah.
running in. There's not that many out, but there are some.
People trying to avoid the guards, but still trying to get shit done.
And so you do also see some people doing some unsavory type things. So there are some smugglers, and there is a couple people leaving a house with a red light in the window at a couple times during the night.
Must
But
be Roxanne's place.
yes, they don't seem to be too dangerous. At least a couple of them get caught and taken at least either money exchanges hands or they end up grabbing them and taking them off towards the palace area. Otherwise, before too terribly long, it's getting pretty cold out here. I mean, it is still basically January, and eventually most everybody.
Well, if I have to, I've got I can negate environs penalties plus I've
Right,
got
I'm
a
not-
specialty
I'm
for
not worried
survival
about
in
you
the
for-
tundra.
Yeah, I'm not even making you roll for cold. But most of the houses, the lights go out pretty quick because candles are very expensive. And while the wood keeps going, most everybody goes to bed. Except, of course, the soldiers. And there are a couple of houses that are still active. One of them that draws your attention at one point in the night, which is as you're investigating further, you're getting those last 2 successes, is actually the clother shop that you guys visited when you first entered the city. I'm terrible with names. The guy's name was Dalton. And there seems to be people inside there talking. Pretty late into the night. In fact, very late into the night.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to that one, try and listen by the window.
Okay.
This is gonna be so bad.
Give me a new stealth roll.
Let's see. Oh my god, it's a monster! He's a demon! Hey, you might get some more people to follow your cult.
It'd be very bad if they see him.
Okay, first of all, you can stunt again, and second of all, you can, if you have stealth as cast or favored,
I do.
you can spend essence to increase your dice pool on a 1-for-1 basis up to your total of ability plus attribute.
You only have one essence.
No.
No,
sorry,
I can
motes.
keep-
Motes of essence.
Oh my.
I am.
So when your
Yeah.
dice pool gets big, you can spend a lot of
So,
motes on this.
Basically, like as I get there, is it a first story or second story window?
I
For
think
sure.
the building's 2 or 3 stories, isn't it?
Yes, but they're on the bottom floor.
Okay.
It's at least this building is fairly sizable. It's 2 stories and maybe has an attic.
I thought it was a 2-story.
Yeah.
So the way I'm gonna stunt this is actually. Is there the window I'm going to? Is there a window directly above it? Or no?
Yes.
Yes.
The window where you see the light. I mean, you see 2 different windows in the front. Or actually, let's see. 2 of the windows in the front side. They're both there's like drapes drawn and whatnot, but you catch a little bit of backlight from them.
Okay.
And that seems to be like the. So I guess it's this side and then this side, and so it's like seems to be not the main room, but just
Okay.
off to the side of it.
And then this side, so front of the store, side
So,
of
yeah,
the store.
front of the store on one side on the corner, and then also on this
Okay,
side.
so I'm gonna come
and
over
then there's
here
a window up here
above the side one,
above the front door one.
but not the side one.
On the side one, there's one off center, but not directly above.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be jumping over, and I'm gonna hang with my prehensile feet from the eaves because I'm 10'2", so I'm a little over, and then so I'm like right there at the top of the window, listening in, but it's off on the side, so it just looks like and since it's the clothing shop, it could be like some animal that they're getting ready to skin and tan, and
Yeah.
Just hanging outside in the bitter
they
cold.
could have been just hanging it,
Yeah.
and getting ready first thing in the morning.
All right, yeah, you can have your stunt dice for that.
And then I will also spend 3 essence motes for 3 extra dice. Nine successes.
Okay. These are passive perception. Five.
I hope these are separate for each one and not
Yes.
combined.
As you're getting into position, there you can you're starting to hear conversation. You're getting in position. You know you're pretty quiet at this, but the conversation suddenly stops, and you see the curtain come to the side, and then the curtain goes back, and they start talking again.
Because I'm hanging down. So it's up.
It's like they knew you were there, kind of thing, but apparently they didn't because they keep talking.
There's someone at the window. No one's at the window. Must have been my imagination.
Yep. Give me a perception and awareness for hearing what they have to say, because they are talking pretty low.
I've got 3.
Okay, and what languages do you speak?
Just the common.
All right.
Just the northern tongue, the
So
air
sky,
tongue.
sky tongue. Hmm.
They're probably speaking in guild.
If I put a glass to the thing, can I stunt that?
Do you have a glass with you?
Nope.
Pull an icicle off. Maybe that will work. Stick that in your. Hey, I can hear something. I think I'm dead.
I think it is my brains dripping from my head.
I hear fluid flowing.
The icicle must be melting. Let me grab another one. Alright.
Oh man.
Can I make anything out of the gibberish? And no, I
Um,
don't have anything in linguistics if that's what you're getting at.
No, linguistics is only for reading and writing, and obviously you can't hear. Well, I don't know. That would be a good stunt, though.
Hear writing.
Yes. I can tell by the scratches of his pen exactly what he's writing. No, they are occasionally changing to a different language, but they seem to be going back and forth. You hear several different voices. So it's more than just a two-person conversation. One of the voices seems to be upset. One of the voices seems to be very sort of on the defensive side of things.
Are either of those voices Dalton?
Yes. Dalton seems to be the
Defensive
defensive one.
Okay.
But it's not like, oh, come on, like that kind of defensive. It's just like more of a, well, what did you expect? There was no other solution. And so it's not a defensive as, I mean, it's defensive as in then he's defending himself,
Right.
but it's not defensive as if Ensign Wayne.
No, yeah, I get it.
And then the third voice that comes in sounds a little bit younger than either of these two, and is more on the sort of seems more concerned or like emotional, in a sense of like concerned about the current situation kind of thing. And you occasionally, when he is speaking in Sky Tongue, from him you're getting the sense, or you're getting, well, then we should leave then, right? It's time to get out of here. The other voice seems to be the voice of reason, the first voice.
The accusatory voice.
Yes. I mean, he's very, his voice seems to be usually fairly calm. But, yeah.
Then I'll head home.
And those are the main three voices you catch. You're not entirely sure if there isn't other ones, but those are the three that are talking the most.
I'm gonna knock on his door.
Come in.
So I know who started the fire.
Who?
Your clothes friend. The one who makes the clothes.
Dalton.
Yeah. I was near his place in actually I was at his place, not inside though. And he was talking with some other guys. A whole bunch of guys were in there. But one guy was like mad at him for it, and he was defending himself like, that's the only course of action he could take. And then the third guy that was talking was saying they should all skip town. Don't worry, they didn't see me. I pretended to be a dead animal.
Okay. And they were speaking in Sky Tongue the whole time?
Not the whole time.
Okay.
but most of the time.
In guild cant, I will say fire, arsonist,
Arsonist, you are fired.
responsibility, and anathema.
Okay.
And I will ask him, were any of those 4 words spoken?
None of those sound familiar. In fact, they don't sound like the same language, really.
That's not what they were speaking.
Huh?
I think you got too many languages in your head.
How about this one? Oh, that's not right either. And this one? Oh, well. Keep trying.
That just sounds like you're making noises.
And I think it's guild tongue.
But anyway, thought you should know. Because I'm 100% confident that they were talking about the fire.
Right.
He's got a major in jumping to conclusions, a specialty.
I do have a specialty in jumping.
Okay. That doesn't change what I was going to do much. Except that maybe,
Be a little more careful with your words.
yeah. So the 2 letters I was going to write, one was going to be to Constantine and one was going to be to Dalton.
Okay.
And to Dalton, I was going to write in guild cant.
It might be cant when it's written. I don't know.
Basically, the letter to him was going to be how are supplies in the city.
Mhm.
Basically, trying to get an idea of what the trade situation is at the moment, how dire it is.
Okay.
And then to Constantine, I was going to write a letter saying, I understand your men have some refugees that I met on the road. If at all possible, I'd like to see them released.
Okay.
The problems to the east should diminish. We can concentrate to the north.
Okay.
And then I'll have my flunkies deliver those in the morning.
Okay.
Would I have made it back by now?
Yep.
So I pretty much walk in the room with these 2 who are talking, give my spiel about what I found. Yeah, it seems something started a fire over at the house over at this.
Yeah, it was the close guy.
I think there's more involved than just that. There was something in there that, if it was a dragon and it was held, it had to have been held in there, or they had something in there that it wanted. Either way, there was something there. Something was off about that house. Can't put my finger on it though.
I heard him confess to another guy.
Oh yeah? He said that he set the place on fire?
He said that
You
it was his
can-
only course of action.
You can see the dead.
Yeah.
Can you speak to them?
Sure.
Give me a with or an intelligence plus occult.
Intelligence plus occult.
Let me have your pipe.
Hey,
You have to light it first.
1.
I did.
One. You can talk to them, and sometimes they even talk back. At least that's been your experience so far. You see spirits, and dead not as much, but you do see spirits. And yeah, sometimes they seem to be sleeping.
Well, I mean, dead is dead. You can't really talk to dead, but spirits are still alive, and you can talk to them. Unless they're sleeping. But you can't talk to anybody when they're sleeping. Well, you can, but they don't really answer.
So you can talk at sleeping people.
Oh, and
Talk in their direction.
Mm-hmm.
I also will give the remainder of the ale that we didn't sell to my guys to offload.
Okay.
As they can. Yeah, and then it's bedtime.
Pretty late in the night by this point.
Yep.
But if you guys sleep in, you can get a point of willpower back.
I'll sleep in, but I'm at full willpower, so.
Okay. And then you send your flunkies out to deliver messages.
Yeah, before I go to bed, I leave them with the instructions.
Then you get a knock at the door.
Well, before you continue, that's a good place to stop.
Oh yeah. I guess we are at
Yeah,
time. aren't
we
not?
are at the episode.
Well, there's trouble afoot, and unfortunately, the wrong person has the pipe. The one rolling the investigation doesn't have it. Well, I guess between the three of you, maybe. One of you has a hat, one of you has a pipe, and the other guy's writing letters.
You know
Where's
what?
the violin?
It's my pipe, and I've offered it to everybody here to share. And if you're making a reference to Sherlock Holmes, I'm the one figuring shit out.
I guess that's true. See you guys next
Whatever.
time.
See y'all.